Hey, what's up guys? Imran here, Monster Gadgets. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Thank you so much for joining me. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how you can keep your trunk clean by just not an ordinary mat, by a Lessy Messy mat. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright guys, welcome back. So you're probably wondering what in the world is Lessy Messy. So let me explain. So I had the owner of this company reach out to me and ask me if I wanted to test out their product that they're just releasing now for the Model 3 and Model Y. Similar to their other products they've had in the market for quite some time regarding baby mats, picnic mats, and things like that. They just kind of took that model and converted it into how you can use it in a car, again, particularly the Model 3 or the Model Y. And so I asked him a ton of questions, and I was just kind of blown away by how efficient this mat is. And I was thinking, how in the world did no one ever think about this before? So this guy is a complete genius, and he gave me the product to go ahead and unbox and test it out and review it for my Tesla Model 3 Performance. And as you guys know, I always give my honest opinion. So I'm gonna go ahead and first unbox this, second, go set it up in the car, third, test it out for a couple of weeks or so, and then come back to you and give you my input on how well this product works. So what is it? Again, it's a mat that goes into the trunk of your car, and it's not like your typical cloth mat. It's not like your typical all-weather mat. It's kind of above and beyond that. And so what I mean by that is, if you have your traditional cloth mats, if you spill something on it, it pretty much absorbs into the mat, stains it, smells it, well, makes it smell. But you know what I mean. So the next protection from that would be the all-weather mat, which I do currently have in my car, and I've done other videos on different manufacturers offering that product. The issue with that is, yes, it keeps all the liquids and things like that on the mat, and it won't absorb through the actual rubber or whatever product, whatever material they're using to make the all-weather floor mat. It won't absorb through that. But if you do spill something in it, it kind of sits there, or it'll dry there if you leave it long enough and the weather is hot enough outside, it'll kind of dry in the mat. And some of it, depending on what you spill, could still smell. But if you're just typically using it for like rain or snow and things like that, generally that won't make the mat smell itself, but it might have the water running around and things like that. The product they made, again, this is right now just for the trunk. And I will tell you a story. This has actually happened to me, a true story. One time I came back from a grocery store and I had my milk in the back. And what happened in the milk gallon was somehow while I was turning, not in my Tesla by the way, in another car, somehow it spilled over and some of the milk spilled into my trunk. At that time I did not have an all-weather mat. I had a typical factory cloth like liner that came with the car. And of course it smelled. I took it out, I washed it, I put it back, and it still smelled. And so since then, luckily, I haven't had that issue. But if you are in that situation where you don't want to get your trunk dirty, this mat itself, what it does is you literally just place it in the back of your car, like, again, it's custom fit for the Tesla Model 3 or Model Y. And if something spills on it, it will actually absorb it without letting it sink through. So your trunk will still be safe. It won't smell. The best part is you literally take this mat out, you put it in the washer, and you're done. So how do I know this? Well, because I asked these questions to the owner of this company, and we actually met at a Starbucks. He wanted to show me how it works. He literally took some water with ice, threw it on there. He got some coffee from Starbucks, spilled it on there, and it was sitting on the table. I literally lifted the mat up and it was dry. There's absolutely no liquid or fluid that came through the actual mat itself. And so he sold me, and that's why I'm here. So let's go ahead and get started with the unboxing first. Then we'll go out and go out to my garage, put this in my car, and then I'll do a separate video. You guys won't know because it'll be over days, but I'll do a separate video on actually testing it out, putting it in the washer. I'll show you all of that. Let's go ahead and start with the unboxing first. All right, so here's the box that it actually comes in. And I like it because it's simple, it's plain, there's nothing on here except a barcode for their tracking. And it just says Tesla Model 3 here. And of course, if you have the Model Y, it'll say the Model Y. You open this up and you are greeted here by a paper. It says Lessy Messy, lessymessy.com, baby, outdoors, pet, trunk, kids, and more. On the back of it, your first step to a Lessy Messy life. I love that. Lay the mat flat on the cover to cover your entire trunk. The black surface faces up and absorbs any liquid leaks. Just throw it in the washer and dryer when it gets dirty, and check out lessymessy.com for more products, baby, outdoor, and more. So they got their social media right here. You can go ahead and follow them. Care instructions are listed here. Let's go ahead and put that aside. On the top of the box here, inside of it, it says absorbent, leak-proof, skid-proof, washer, and dryer safe, which is awesome. You cannot do that in a all-weather mat or a cloth mat, even for that matter. But this is something that you're able to do that. Let's go ahead and take this out of the box. Nothing inside. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the side here. It comes in this plastic wrap, which I guess you just kind of open up from the side here. Let's go ahead and take this out. And we've got the mat itself. It doesn't have any smell to it like you'd sometimes have with all-weather mats. That's really nice. It's got teeth in the bottom here, so this is what makes it skid-proof. I like that. And this looks like, again, really high quality. I've only seen the demo version, so this is the actual product itself. And this is really nice. It's not even that thick, and it's just, it seems like, I don't know, it looks like it's made out of high quality material here. So that's pretty much unboxing. Let's go ahead and step outside and go put this in the car and see how it fits. All right, guys, here we are in my garage. We're looking at my trunk for the 21 Tesla Model 3 Performance. And right now, as you can see, I have my all-weather floor mat in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and put the Lessy Messy mat right on top of here, just so for testing purposes, we can make sure it doesn't actually leak through and get onto any of my carpeted mat or my carpet that's underneath it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in and see what it fits like, or how it looks once it's in here. And let's see. Now, keep in mind that the teeth part of it obviously is not going to grip on the all-weather mat, just because it's not made for that. But on the carpet one, the teeth will of course keep this in place, but just for trial purposes, we're doing it this way. I think it's got to get scooted back just a little bit more. Let me try to do that. There you go. It is a perfect fit. Goes over the edges here, the corners, covers that pretty well. And again, this is on top of my all-weather mat, so it might be coming up just a little bit, but a nice clean fit. Room here for the trunk to close. Now, there's only one thing left to do. Let's put it to the test. All right, this cup is a gift that my daughter gave me last Christmas. This is a Tesla coffee mug. We're gonna go ahead and take this coffee and we're gonna go spill it in the trunk of my car. Nothing like a warm cup of coffee on a cold, on a cold day. Here's the coffee. Here's my trunk. You guys can see it's still steaming. Oh, it's actually hurting my hand. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. I've got the coffee in my trunk. You guys can see I've got the mat here. This has been in use. As you guys can see, there's quite a bit of debris or whatever you want to call it on here. I have not spilled anything on this mat yet, so this is my first real life test. So let's go ahead and let me show you. Underneath I have my all-weather, so that way if something does seep through, we'll be able to see it. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and as nerve-wracking as this is, I do believe in this mat. We're gonna go ahead and test it out. Let me just go ahead and spill some coffee on there and see if it made its way through. Nothing yet. It is hot. I don't know if I can do that with hot water or hot things, but I guess this will be a real life example or real life test, right? So I can see it. You guys can see here, it's leaving a bit of a mark, but it is dry. There's nothing coming through. I'm gonna leave this here for a second so you guys can keep seeing this kind of seeping through. And nothing. Let me show you guys what I mean by nothing. I'm gonna leave this here so it's still recording, and I'm gonna be right back. All right, so the test that I want to do is, as I mentioned, you can see that it's showing a mark here. It's completely dry, and just to prove to you, I'm gonna go ahead and put this paper towel on here. And as you can see, I'm actually pressing down and there's nothing coming through. Absolutely nothing. It is completely dry. Now, if I do the same test on the other side, you guys will see how quickly it picked up the coffee. So I would say that definitely passes the test. I'll go ahead and let it seep in for a little bit longer. See if you get anything on the other side. It is still steaming. I've got a little bit of coffee left. Should I spill the rest of the coffee? Let's just do it in the same area. Oh man, this looks so weird. It's just like steaming because it's so warm. It's kind of crazy though, because look, you can see a stain, but it's not at all wet. And so here's the dry part of the napkin. Again, nothing. So the stain came through, and we'll have to do the wash test on it to see if the stain goes away from washing it in the washer. But on this side, look at that. That is pretty cool. So now that it's passed the test, even if you didn't have the all-weather floor mats, you really wouldn't need it because you would have this on top of your carpet one. This works wonderfully. All right, I'll let it steam out for a little bit longer, let it cool out. We'll go ahead and take the mat out. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna let this dry. I'll pull it out, I'll let it dry because I wanna see once it dries and I put it in the wash, is it still gonna stain or not? So we'll do that test because anything wet, if I wash it, obviously it'll come out much quicker. But if I leave it, let it sink in, or sink in, and then dry and wash it, is it gonna go away or not? And right now it's pretty visible the way it is, even from the top. And once I wash it, I expect that to go away. But again, we'll see. So let's see what happens here. And I assure you, if the coffee doesn't seep through, I doubt any other spills like milk, juice, mud, it's not gonna go through. So this will be a real life test. All right, I brought it indoors here and I'm gonna leave it inside the house. One of the things that I do wanna note, which I'm sure some of you might have thought of, is when I did this test, it was only a few minutes that I left it and it didn't seep through. So to do a longer test, what I'm gonna do is, this is an area that's still wet, I'll show you. It's still wet. I'm gonna put a dry paper towel right underneath the stained area to see if anything seeps through while it dries. So that way, if there's anything coming through, the paper towel will pick it up, it'll be discolored, and we'll be able to see it. Just to show you, it is still going, and I've got the paper towel right underneath it. All right, so I'll go ahead and leave it here, let it dry up, and I'll check back in a few hours and see where we're at. All right, guys, so here we are back. I let this sit overnight, and it is completely dry at this point. And with the paper towel, as you guys can see, there's nothing that came through. And back here, you can't really see any of the stains from when they were wet. I will say I can smell the coffee, which of course is expected. But as you guys can see, you can hardly see this stain here. I don't even know if the camera can pick that up, but it's very, very minimal staining that I can see in the back here. But again, it does smell because obviously there's coffee on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the wash and see once it comes out how it looks and if it smells at all or not. And then we'll see if the backing changes at all or not from a stain standpoint. So let's go ahead and do that. Auto. All right, this just finished up. So we're gonna go ahead and, this is kind of moist. Put this in the dryer. And let's try this on. I think we'll do a quick dry since it's really not that wet. And start. All right guys, let me go ahead and take this out of the dryer. And we will go put this down on the floor and take a look and see if we can see any type of staining. So this is the corner that we spilled the coffee on, which is, if you're facing the trunk of the car, the bottom right corner. And first, let me see if I can smell anything. No, I really can't. And I wish I could show you that on the camera, but I can't. This is where the stain was once it dried. And you guys tell me, do you see anything? I really don't. I can't tell. I don't know if the camera's picking up anything, but I cannot see anything in person. Yeah, nothing at all. Everything came out. Does not smell. All the debris is gone. And so I would say that was a success. Now this is made for, I believe, 300 washes. So that is plenty. And so it should last well beyond that. Obviously, I'm not going to test it for 300 washes myself, but that's what it's rated for. And after this first wash, I mean, the quality is as good as new. So I would assume after a few more washes, it'll be the same, if not up to, again, 300 washes. But now I just got to put this back in the car and let it protect my trunk. All right, guys, that's it for this video. I'll go ahead and leave the information and the link in the description below. Go ahead and check out the Lessy Messy website. Make sure you use my promo code at checkout to get a special discount. And don't forget to subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.